Claflin fair o'er thee. May we all be leal and loyal to thy memory.
My name is Dwaun Warmack and had the distinct pleasure of serving as the 9th president at this historic institution. We're the #1 ranked historically black college university in the state of South Carolina and top 10 in the country. And so what makes us special is the people. It is the people that buy into the culture, it is the people that buy into the mission, and it's the people that buy into the vision. Social justice is our focal point as an institution. Mass incarceration is a social justice issue. Healthcare disparities is a social justice issue. So the university has put resources to ensure that we do everything in our power to combat some of those healthcare disparities. Our intentional focus, 100% of it is ensuring that our community is safe and well. And when I say well, holistically, we began to look at some data impacting African Americans in Orangeburg County, and we began to think about our own family trajectory. And I talked about my mother dying from hypertension, my grandmother dying from hypertension, my grandfather passed from hypertension, and how it's generational in our communities, but not talking about the preventative work that comes behind it. And so I approached our computer science faculty member, Dr. Lyles, and said, hey, I want to do something very creative and innovative, something that can really combat healthcare disparities, but it's also to infusing technology in that work.
I am Karina Lyles, and I chair the Department of Math and Computer Science, and I'm also an Associate Professor of Computer Science at Claflin University. Computer science is a way for us to build solutions to everyday problems. We have a very forward-thinking president, and so it's very easy to get him on board with the smart home. We met and talked about things that we could do as a university to make an impact in our community, because we understand that we have a purpose here. I presented him the ideal about the smart home, and he loved it.
We purchased a home in the community, and within that home, we began to invest all of the technology that is there.
It's very important for the smart home to be a home and not a house, because we want this health consciousness to just be a part of everyone's life. We're really trying to shift lifestyles here. Imagine going into your home, but then having the additional amenities that help support the things that you need to do to take care of your health and well-being. Imagine walking into the living room, taking your blood pressure, then realizing it's elevated. The house will recognize that as well. It might dim the lights, and it might change the colors of the lights, and then it might also play soothing music. While the home is doing these things in response to your medical state, it's also informing you. So we have the displays around the house because that's the way to engage and interface with the user. The house will alert you that your blood pressure is elevated, and then also give some recommendations and things that you can do to alleviate this issue. Now let's imagine you woke up from a night's rest and you got up as you normally do to get ready for work or to get ready for school or just to start your day. When you go into the bathroom, the smart mirror gives you all of your sleep stats. And it shows the graphs, it shows the charts, it tells you the cycles of sleep that you were in and how long you were in those stages. It tells you how much you might have snored. It takes the information from the bed and then it makes sense of it to tell you slept well last night, or if you didn't, here are some things that you might want to do to get through your day. So you might want to think about reordering your to-do list, because something that requires more cognitive load might not be what you want to start out with, because it's just going to make you more drained and more tired. If you go into your bedroom, there's a workout mirror. The workout mirror allows for the cardio workout, but it also allows for meditation and yoga. A big part of the smart home is providing that health education. There are going to be times when someone might need to go to the hospital or to visit their doctor, and there may be times when you might just need to relax. And so giving them that education will help them to determine when it's time to seek medical attention or when there's some things that we can do at the home for self-care. We want to rely on the community of the individual to give them the best services possible. And so with the smart home, this data about your health can be sent directly to your health care provider. It can be sent to your doctor or your nurse or even a family member who might be monitoring your health. It allows that open line of communication, but it allows that transparency that doctors sometimes need. Or sometimes we might not think of things that we should share with our doctor, but the information is there now because the house has already sent that information over. So they know what to look for, even if we don't know what to disclose.
Oftentimes you hear these studies that are impacting large metropolitan areas. Then if you extrapolate the data, you don't have a large African American data set. And then extrapolate it further in rural America. So we want to be the thought leader in the country to be able to provide the data set. It is our hope that this data set will allow folks to make more informed medical decisions, but it's also preventative health decisions as well.
I am Shamaria Sherman, a senior computer science major here at Claflin, and I am a smart home researcher and team lead of the robotics team. Growing up in my family, I was always known as the tech-savvy person, fixing the computers, downloading all the softwares. So it was always my niche. As a researcher, our job is to always research and develop ways to basically help our community's well-being. So currently, I am working on a project called the Nutrition Label Analyzer. The goal of the analyzer is to basically analyze labels and make it easier for users to understand, to increase their nutritional awareness. When you're grocery shopping and you're purchasing things in the store, there's this propaganda of, oh, it's no sugar, but there's actually more harmful ingredients. And so if you don't know what's harming you, you can't make better decisions. So the goal is just for everyone to make better dietary choices to help these chronic illnesses and health issues. It's connected from a personal experience. My grandfather had cancer and my grandmother has hypertension. So it's like growing up, I knew they had these issues, but I didn't know the answers, or I didn't know why or what was causing it. So doing this research kind of gives me a lens to see, okay, this is what's harming our community, and maybe I can help fix this or develop a solution that could help other African Americans.
I think the smart home plays a critical part in closing the gaps for health disparities in rural areas, because one important thing is that we are the minority researchers doing the work. So a lot of this work hits close to home to us. We see our family members and our loved ones who are dealing with a lot of these ailments, if it's not us ourselves. We're driven by a different purpose.
Working with Dr. Lyles has been an amazing experience. She's like a second mother to me. She's really focused on just us growing and evolving. Coming from behind the computers, developing this project, being in a smart home where I'm actually able to test my products, it just gives me like a sense of comfort, that push that, I can help my community and I can actually see it. I think my biggest lesson working in a smart home is that effective research starts with identifying real life issues and targeting solutions at those issues. So being in the smart home is unique because I'm actually able to test these products that I'm developing with my community, with my peers, and with my school to actually see if it's working or if it's not working and how I can improve that.
There's been a long-standing concern with healthcare in the African American community, even more so in rural communities. And we recognize that, and we're very careful about the programs that we design. This is an interdisciplinary project, so we include majors from the humanities department, so we include psychology majors, because one important factor is understanding the human's connection to the technology that's around them. We naturally have the computer science students writing the programs. We naturally have computer engineering students developing the hardware and the products, but this information is informed by biology students and nursing students. We also have art students who've decorated the home with their artwork, but even more, they're helping us develop the user interfaces. We actually have a cybersecurity program here at Claflin University, and those students are particularly focused on dealing with the security and privacy that could pertain around the data that happens in this home.
I think working with other majors is great because it allows different points of views. Working with someone from biology, they could bring in the genetics, like the health issues. So I just think it brings a general view of the world, and we can all collaborate to make better choices, developments in the world.
With the home, while we bought a lot of technologies off the shelf, the goal is to have our students develop these technologies and develop different technologies that cater specifically to the minority communities. And with that, we'll be able to scale those products so they would be accessible and available to all. Right now, we are in the early phases of development. Students are building their prototypes and testing them out. Eventually, we will have this space open to the community so that they can actually use the products in their final stages.
I see Smart Home impacting the community just as a health resource for the community to serve them and educate them whenever they need. And it's not only just for health-related education, but it just also gives the community the support to see how to handle these health disparities in their home and starting where they're at with their health journeys.
Our smart home is the first and only smart home that is dedicated to combat health disparities for minority communities. We are also the only physical home in the state of South Carolina. We're now able to be a showpiece for other schools and other universities to get ideas and think about things that they might be able to do in their areas. Claflin allows that space to be innovative and do that. President Warmack pushes transformation and elevation, and the smart home is a product of that agenda.
How do we see this thing from a theoretical perspective and have the research and the data, but also practical? How do we have folks to be able to say, I can live this healthy life by seeing it for myself? Our goal is to become an international model that we can show, hey, based on this work that is happening in the metropolitan of Orangeburg, South Carolina, in this rural America, that you can do this anywhere.